The tragic legend of Battleship Yamato. Yamato carried the largest guns ever mounted on a warship. Her massive 18.1-inch cannons, each barrel stretching 85 feet, could fire shells weighing 3,200 pounds. Each projectile was taller than a man and wider than a telephone pole. When fired, they created craters 30 feet deep. Yet in 4 years of war, these monstrous weapons sank only a single ship, nothing more than a destroyer. This is the story of the most powerful battleship ever built, and yet one of the least effective. This is the brutal arithmetic of war. The construction of Yamato cost 137 million yen in 1940, the equivalent of building 1,000 fighter planes. But in the end, this steel giant met a tragic fate. Surrounded and overwhelmed by 386 American aircraft, Yamato, the very symbol of Japan's naval supremacy, was sent to the bottom of the sea. A grim reminder that in the new age of warfare, the skies ruled over the oceans. A monster born of desperation. By the late 1930s, Japan faced a harsh truth. It could never match the United States in sheer industrial output. America could build warships faster and in far greater numbers. Japan's answer was not quantity, but supremacy. A warship so massive, so powerful, it could defeat several enemy vessels at once. That vision gave birth to the Yamato-class battleships. Yamato was built in absolute secrecy at the Kure Naval Arsenal. Workers labored under giant tarpaulins, concealing her colossal frame from spies and reconnaissance planes. On August 8, 1940, the largest battleship in human history was launched. On December 16, 1941, just days after Pearl Harbor, Yamato officially entered service. A symbol of national pride. To Japan, Yamato was more than a warship. She was a national icon, a floating fortress of steel, a declaration to the world that Japan would never bow to Western dominance. Her name itself carried weight, Yamato, the ancient poetic name for Japan. But history would prove that no amount of steel or firepower could withstand the revolution of modern warfare. Air power had changed the rules forever. As the war dragged on, Yamato saw little glory. Her mighty guns thundered only a handful of times, and her presence alone could not alter the tide of battle. Japan's dreams of naval supremacy sank with every carrier and aircraft lost. And then came her final mission, Operation Tengo. April 1945, a one-way voyage to Okinawa, with barely enough fuel to reach the island. Yamato was ordered to charge the American fleet, beach herself on the shore, and die as a fortress of steel and flame. She never made it. Intercepted by waves of American carrier aircraft, Yamato was struck again and again. Bombs tearing her decks apart, torpedoes ripping into her hull. Finally, a massive explosion split her in two. On April 7, 1945, Yamato slipped beneath the waves, taking over 3,000 men with her. Legacy of a giant. Yamato's end was not just the death of a battleship. It was the death of an era. The age of the battleship had passed, and the aircraft carrier reigned supreme. Today, Yamato is remembered not only as the largest and most powerful battleship ever built, but also as a symbol of the futility of brute force in the face of changing warfare. A titan of steel, doomed by the sky.